Have you ever wondered how we calculate evolution? It seems like something random, something that you wouldn't be able to predict. But as it turns out, there are ways to model evolution at the genetic level that can predict what a population is going to look like. First off, what is an allele? Alleles are something we all have in our genes. They come in pairs, and each pair determines something different about the organism it belongs to. In each pair, there are two possible alleles you can get. We will call them A1 and A2. When you combine the two alleles into a pair, you get a genotype. Because you have two kinds of alleles, you can get three different genotypes: A1A1, A2A2, and A1A2. These are your possible combinations. Alleles have something called frequency. This is a word for how often they occur. More mathematically, it's the number of individuals with that allele divided by the population size. We will call A1's frequency P and A2's frequency Q. We also assign frequencies to genotypes based on the alleles they're made of. According to this thing called the Harvey-Weinberg law, the frequency of A1 is P squared, A2 is Q squared, and A1 is 2PQ. The Harvey-Weinberg law uses a strategy we use when solving equations, converting from factored to general form. To throw another complication in, genotypes also get fitnesses. In this case, the fitness of a genotype is defined as the average number of offspring that one individual of the genotype will have. We will denote them using W11 for A1, W22 for A2, and W12 for A1, To model evolution, you need all of these factors. You can use them to write different equations, but today our equation aims to answer this question: what are the frequencies of the A1 and A2 alleles in a new generation? The equation we're using looks like this. P prime represents the frequency of the A1 allele in the new generation. N is the population size, and W bar is the average fitness of a population, calculated by using some of the other variables before. The equation puts all of this information together. We came up with some random numbers for all of our variables. N, or the population size, is 100. P, or the A1 allele's frequency, is 0.6. Q, or the A2 allele's frequency, is 0.4. W11, or the A1 genotype's fitness, is 4. W12, or the A1-A2's genotype fitness, is 3. Using these, we could find that W bar, the average population fitness, is 3.2. Let's input our values into the original equation. Because the substitution is indicated by parentheses, you can see where the values for our two genotypes, A1 and A1 fit into the equation. We only use these two because right now, we're only trying to figure out the frequency of the A1 allele, so we only need the genotypes that include that allele. When solved, the equation will look like this. It's mostly a process of simplification, so if you know PEMDAS, it's really not too difficult. After solving, we found that the frequency of the A1 allele in the new generation will be 0.675, or 67.5% of the population. The other remaining percent, 32.5, will be the frequency of the A2 allele in the new generation. We chose this topic because of our interest in science. Whether pure or applied, the studies of math and science are heavily intertwined. To be a geneticist, you need to understand the mathematics of evolution. Geneticists do a lot for our society. Knowing things like allele frequencies can help prevent extinction, among other things. We learned a lot during this project. The Stanford Encyclopedia was a great help in finding our equation, and Samira Akash's article was really interesting to us. There are other equations in it to help fine-tune evolutionary predictions, and if you have any other questions, it's a great resource. We hope you learned as much as we did. Thanks for watching!